Look closer at any champion, any titan of industry, any master of their craft. Behind the roar of the crowd and the gleam of the trophy, you'll find a hidden story. A story written in sweat, tears, and countless moments of gut-wrenching failure. Every great success story is a library of setbacks, a testament to battles fought in the dark when no one was watching. It's the rejection letter, the missed deadline, the devastating loss, the public humiliation. It's the voice in your head that screams, "You're not good enough, it's time to quit." So what is the difference? What is the invisible force that separates the forgotten from the unforgettable? It isn't raw talent. The world is full of talented failures. It isn't luck. Luck is a fleeting visitor. It isn't even opportunity. For opportunity is useless to a spirit that has already surrendered. The defining factor, the one non-negotiable trait of every person who has ever achieved greatness, is resilience. It is the ability to look defeat in the eye and say, "Not today." It's the spiritual toughness to get knocked down 9 times and stand up 10 stronger than before. Think of Kobe Bryant. We remember the championships, the game-winning shots, but we forget the over 14,000 missed field goals. He didn't just accept failure, he studied it. He embraced the Mamba mentality, a relentless pursuit of improvement born from his setbacks. While others slept, he was in the gym, turning his weaknesses into weapons. His resilience wasn't just about playing through pain, it was about a fanatical devotion to the process, day in and day out. Consider Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, dropped by his record label, blacklisted by the industry and left for dead after being shot 9 times. By all accounts, his story should have ended there, but his resilience was absolute. He didn't just recover, he strategized. He took his story of survival and turned it into an unbreakable brand, building a business empire that transcended music. He transformed his deepest wounds into his greatest strengths, proving that your past does not have to define your future. Go back centuries to Miyamoto Musashi, a masterless samurai, a Ronin, wandering Japan. He lived a life of solitude and constant danger, often rejected and challenged. But in that isolation, he forged an invincible spirit. He fought over 60 duels and was never defeated. His resilience was a philosophy, a way of life detailed in the Book of 5 Rings. He understood that true strength is not about never falling, but about mastering the art of getting back up, physically, mentally, and spiritually. As the great philosopher Jim Rohn said, discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. And resilience is the steel from which that bridge is forged. It is the engine of discipline. It is the choice you make in the quiet moments, to study while others party, to train while others rest, to push forward when every fiber of your being wants to retreat. This is the path of mastery Robert Greene writes about. It is the long, arduous journey that transforms an amateur into a legend. So ask yourself, when you are faced with your next failure, your next setback, will you retreat? Or will you build your bridge? Will you rise again and again until you are simply undefeatable? Jim Rohn once said, "Failure is not a single cataclysmic event. You don't fail overnight. Failure is the accumulation of small errors in judgment repeated every day. It's the workout skipped, the difficult call postponed. These small choices, compounded over time, architect our downfall. Success is built the same way, through small correct choices repeated with relentless discipline, especially when no one is watching. So, see failure for what it is. Not the end, but raw feedback. Every setback is a lesson. A missed shot reveals a flaw in your form. A rejection highlights a weakness in your approach. Most people take this personally and quit. But the elite crave this data. They know it's the fastest path to improvement. Kobe Bryant embodied this. A missed shot wasn't a failure, it was a data point. He'd watch the tape, analyze his footwork, his release. He treated every mistake as a private lesson, a chance to get 1% better. This is the Mamba mentality, a constant quest for mastery, fueled by the very things that stop others. It's about outworking your own potential. Look at the tenacity of 50 Cent, shot 9 times, dropped by his label, blacklisted by the industry. The doors were bolted shut, but he saw the system was broken, so he created his own. He flooded the streets with mixtapes, creating a movement so powerful the industry had to come begging. He didn't ask for a seat at the table, he built his own. This principle is timeless. Centuries ago, the samurai Miyamoto Musashi became a Ronin, a masterless warrior, an outcast. Instead of fading, he walked the warrior's path on his own terms. He fought over 60 duels, not for glory but for mastery. Each fight was a lesson in strategy. He proved that when the world rejects you, you must create your own path governed by a commitment to excellence. This is resilience. It's the alchemy that transforms failure into wisdom. Setbacks aren't roadblocks. They are detours revealing a better path. Without resilience, failure shatters you. But with it, failure becomes the forge. The heat of your mistakes and the pressure of your defeats, they don't break you. They temper you, shape you, and hammer you into something stronger, sharper, and more unbreakable than before. When we think of Kobe Bryant, we picture the icon. The five-time champion, the relentless scorer, the global superstar whose Mamba mentality became a blueprint for greatness. We remember the confetti, the trophies, and the seemingly superhuman feats. But the highlight reels never tell the full story. To truly understand what made Kobe great, you can't just look at his successes. You have to look at his failures, the brutal losses, the public criticism, and the moments that would have broken a lesser person. The most defining of these moments came early. It was 1997, the playoff semifinals against the Utah Jazz. Kobe, a fearless 18-year-old rookie, found himself with the ball in his hands in the final, critical moments of an elimination game. He took the shot, air ball, he got the ball again, another shot, another air ball. In the span of a few minutes he shot 4 of them, sealing his team's defeat and ending their season. The world watched a teenager fail on the biggest stage. Imagine the shame, the humiliation. On the flight back to Los Angeles, while his veteran teammates processed the loss, Kobe was already processing the lesson. He didn't hide. He didn't make excuses. The moment the team plane landed, he didn't go home to sleep. He had the driver take him to a local high school gym. And there, in the dead of night, all alone, he began to shoot. He shot for hours until the sun came up, exorcising the demons of his failure with every single repetition. That is the anatomy of resilience. It's not just about bouncing back. It's about using the impact of the fall to propel you even higher. Failure provides data. Each miss is a lesson in what to adjust. Kobe didn't see those airballs as a verdict on his talent. He saw them as a clear signal of what he needed to work on. He used the pain of that failure as the ultimate fuel, forging it into an unbreakable work ethic that would define the rest of his career. He famously said, "Everything negative, pressure, challenges, is all an opportunity for me to rise." This wasn't just a catchy quote, it was his operating system. He actively sought out pressure because he knew it was the friction required for growth. He studied his losses more than his wins, turning every setback into a strategic advantage. You will have your own airball moments. In your career, your business, your life, moments of embarrassing public failure. The question is, what will you do next? Will you let that failure define you, or will you let it refine you? The path to legendary status isn't paved with perfection, it's paved with the lessons learned from the bricks you lay along the way. Failure is inevitable, but resilience ensures it never ever has the final word. 50 Cent's life is proof that resilience transforms setbacks into stepping stones. Shot 9 times, dropped by labels, surrounded by betrayal. Most people would have quit, but 50 turned pain into motivation. He once said, "Joy wouldn't feel so good if it wasn't for pain." His resilience allowed him to keep creating, keep pushing, keep building, until he went from rejected rapper to global mogul. Setbacks didn't stop him. Resilience kept him moving. Consistency multiplied his efforts, and success followed. Miyamoto Musashi lived a life of solitude, hardship, and constant battles, but every challenge sharpened his resilience. In the Book of 5 Rings he wrote, "Perceive that which cannot be seen with the eye." What he meant was that victory begins in the mind. Resilience is mental first. You win inside before you ever win outside. Musashi's resilience allowed him to fight duel after duel, never backing down, never stopping, never letting failure define him. He didn't live a life of comfort, he lived a life of resilience, and that resilience made him a legend. Robert Greene reminds us that mastery requires years of practice, setbacks, and relentless effort. Discipline gives you structure, consistency gives you progress. But resilience is what allows you to keep your discipline and your consistency alive when life throws failure at you. Tony Robbins often says, "It's not the lack of resources, it's your lack of resourcefulness that stops you." Resilience is resourcefulness. It's finding a way when the door closes. It's pushing forward when others stop. It's crossing the bridge from failure to success. How can you turn failure into fuel in your life? Redefine failure. Don't see it as the end. See it as feedback, as information, as training. Review and adjust. Write down what went wrong, then improve. Resilience is born in reflection. Stay consistent. Don't let failure break your streak. Keep showing up. Control your perspective. Pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. Choose a perspective of growth. Celebrate endurance. Every time you bounce back, celebrate the resilience you've built. Remember, failure is inevitable. Resilience is optional. Choose resilience. Kobe Bryant turned missed shots into championships. 50 Cent turned bullets into business. Musashi turned solitude into mastery. All of them prove the same truth. Resilience is the bridge between failure and success. So when you fail, and you will, don't quit. Don't retreat. Don't surrender. Instead, stand up, rise again, and keep moving forward. Because resilience is not about avoiding failure, it's about transforming failure into greatness. If this message inspired you, like this video, comment your biggest takeaway, and subscribe for weekly motivational content. And remember, failure is not final. Resilience is forever.